Hey everyone, I'm Austin,
And I'm Mitch.
and this is Super Platinum Achievement, and we got a little bit more to talk about with the Switch Online expansion pack. So we'll be discussing that right after this. Stick around. Welcome everyone, and remember, if you are new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button right down there. We really appreciate it. It helps us out a ton. And if you like this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up at the end. We really appreciate that. And also check out our giveaway playlist we got going on up here somewhere. We might be giving away something pretty cool and big at the moment.
Yeah.
So go ahead and check that out. If
Maybe
not,
around
we will
this.
probably have one coming up in the future, so just stick around for that. And the only way to know about that is if you subscribe. So see why you have to subscribe to the channel.
And ring that little bell, too. That'll help you out.
Yes.
So.
Ding. So yeah, we talked about the Nintendo Online expansion pack with the N64 and all that stuff in a previous video. So if you haven't seen that, check that out because you'll get our thoughts on that. But we wanted to do kind of a follow-up video of essentially the fallout that is happening because of this.
Yeah, with our last video, it was when it was announced and when the price was announced. But now it's actually launched and people have got to experience it. And not only is it overpriced, like we talked about in our last video, it sucks, to say it frankly. So the emulation is bad. There's been screenshots all over the place comparing, specifically Ocarina of Time's the big one, because I mean, as soon as it came out, that's what everybody wanted to play. They're like, boom, I'm playing Ocarina of Time on my Nintendo Switch. Can't wait. It's gonna be awesome. And they all jumped on, and they're like, it looks worse than the Nintendo 64 version. And the specific screenshot that's floating around the internet is the water temple part where you go in and you face Dark Link, and there's the big room with the
Spoilers.
Yeah. Big room with water all over the floor and the tree in the middle. And on the Nintendo 64, the water glistens a little bit, and you actually get a reflection, ray tracing before it was cool, of the tree in the water, and it looks, pretty good for Nintendo 64 graphics. Whereas the Nintendo Switch version, the emulated version, it looks like a big slab of colored plastic. And it looks bad. And that's the case with a lot of things. They oversaturate certain parts that are supposed to be, darker, so it gives away things. It's not as cool, and it's just, people aren't happy. And then an error on Mario Kart, for example, that keeps coming up, is it keeps saying you need to hook up your Nintendo controller pack not recognized. And these things that are literally from the Nintendo 64 version that were so lazily done in the port over to the Switch and the emulation that they didn't fix it, and now the emulation thinks that you should have a controller pack in there in order to save it was specifically the ghost data on Mario Kart. If you don't know what that is, that's when you do the time trials and you save your ghost data so you can race against your ghost later. But yeah, Nintendo just did a lazy, bad job with this expansion pack and proved that Nintendo is still the greediest company out there, and they will overcharge for an underperforming product.
Yeah.
And on top of that,
it's just crazy.
Yeah, on top of that, there's some news on that YouTube video of the announcement.
Yeah, so the original trailer from the online and the expansion pack, the price and all that stuff, the one that we looked at a few weeks ago, came out 2 weeks ago. So it has now become the most disliked video on YouTube.
Yeah.
Which is crazy coming from Nintendo. Usually Nintendo is just like, everything is, people love it and hardly any downvotes or anything. So just to give you an idea, as of recording right now, the video of this, the trailer for the online is 1.2 million with 17 upvotes and 17,000 upvotes versus 129,000 downvotes. That is crazy because most of Nintendo's, it's the other way around. So that's bad.
That's so bad.
And it's just so bad. And I just wanted to
comical
read this.
at this point.
Yeah, I just wanted to read this. It's the top voted comment on this video, and it's just like, with that price, Nintendo, you owe us an explanation pack, which they do. Like, what were they thinking? And then
what the
like,
heck?
and then obviously all the fallout and stuff that led before they even launched it. You think they could have done something like, oh, we dropped the price a little bit or whatever. No, they just went right ahead, launched it, and then even since then it's been terrible, and they haven't come out and said anything, haven't apologized.
Not a peep from them. And on top of that,
I don't see them ever saying anything about it. They're just gonna be shut up and pay.
Maybe a silent firmware update here eventually, but and on top of that, a big complaint has been third-party controllers or just controller compatibility with the online as well, because they released their proprietary Nintendo 64 controller for the Nintendo Switch that you could buy, but of course, scalpers being scalpers these days, that controller was sold out within literally minutes. I think it was 3.5 minutes. Somebody actually recorded 3.5 minutes that this controller sold out. Boom, gone.
Yeah.
Which is a big bummer, because apparently that's the only one that works well. Because when you're playing with the normal Switch controller, you're not going to get the same experience. You're using the right thumbstick to do the C buttons. It's not the same. And if you want to use one of these third-party controllers that is meant for Nintendo 64, that is compatible with the Switch, it doesn't work. I actually, if you are following the channel, I released a video on a controller that is compatible with the Nintendo Switch, and I was like, yeah, it's gonna work great. And I recorded this video like right when it was launching. It was like the day of launch. It was within hours of it actually coming out. Like, hey, this is a controller you can get because it works with the Switch. But once it came out and was actually launched, I went and played it myself because I'm like, you know what, I better make sure this thing works. And yeah, sure enough, I went and started playing with this controller, and issue after issue of compatibility with this controller was just a huge bummer. And I do not think that is the fault of the manufacturer of the controller. That is the compatibility with the Nintendo Switch Online not being friendly with anything. It was just so poorly done.
Yeah.
And shame on you, Nintendo.
Yeah, it's inexcusable, honestly, at this point.
It is.
I mean, they became, so dependable during the pandemic, the lockdowns, all that stuff, and then they go and do this. It's like, come on! Like you got a bunch of new people got into the Switch because of all that, and then now this is what you do to reward people for buying your console. No.
And even the loyalists out there that disagreed with us on our take that the price was a ripoff. The loyalists were like, you know what, I don't care. I can't wait for Nintendo 64. I'll pay for it. It's only $4 more a month or whatever. They're even now, after seeing it, they're like, I am paying for a bad product.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, it's
like
just
we've said,
unbelievable.
When you tick off Nintendo loyalists, you messed up.
And
That's not
the sad thing
easy
is,
to do.
You can go onto your computer and find any emulator online and play any of these games, and they're gonna play better and look better.
They do,
and it's free. So what's the point of doing it on the Switch?
Granted, there's legal issues there. So,
yeah,
but you got
I'm not saying I condone that, but it's
Right.
an option. It's like, if you really wanted to play these games, just go emulate them at that point, because it's just not worth
better.
paying extra money. Yeah, and it's gonna be better. So.
That's what this did. So many people were holding out, like, you know what, I'm not going to support emulation. I'm not going to support emulation. And then this happened, they're like, I don't even care anymore. I'm going to do it because
here's what you
doesn't
do.
deserve my business.
If you're lucky enough to get a Steam Deck when they come out, get one, and then you can emulate your Switch games onto that, and it's like you're playing on the Switch, but it's going to be
There you
better.
go.
So, I didn't say that. Don't sue us.
So, who knows? But yeah, so it's a big cluster, and Nintendo needs to fix it. Let us know what you guys think. Do you have it, and are you super disappointed? Are you?
Or do you like it? Let us know why you
Yeah.
think it's a good value. If you do think it's a good
fun
value.
with it? But let us know in the comments down below. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button. If you like this video, give us a big thumbs up. Check out the giveaway playlist, and we really hope to see you again here on
Super Platinum Achievement.
We'll see you guys.
Bye.